Good evening, good people, and welcome to the first game of the Winter Tournament Finals. This is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament Chaos's Winter Carnival. I am Saracen. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Sir Link-a-Lot. How you doing, Link?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Saracen?
It's an exciting night to see Deadpulse and ADR kick off their finals matchup.
Yep, we start everything for all the marbles. After this, there is no next round. There is no anything. Winner, not a winner of this game, but winner of this best of five will take home the trophy for the Winter Tournament in 2023.
Absolutely. And we see, yet again, our players choosing the same party. I think this is an interesting party selection, and that's partly based on the blurses that we saw here. So Thief and Black Mage are forced. They're both very solid this seed. Notably, the Thief has plus strength and plus luck, but a gold penalty. The Black Mage has bonus gold and starts with fast, and a Malice I didn't care about. Link, what do you want to tell us about the Fighter and the White Mage here?
So Fighter's got improved Cat Claw, and Hurt Undead has minus agility, so it's going to be a little less evasive. White Mage has resistance to poison and lightning, plus 1 MP level all, so every 2 levels they'll get MP to everything. And then they can't equip any bracelets though, so that White Mage is not going to have any armor outside of maybe the white shirt if we find it.
I think the plus 1 MP all is just a one-time 1 MP
Maybe
bonus. This improved MP was the other one. I think it's a really solid party. I think improved Cat Claw is a nice little bonus to have with the Fighter, since you know you're going to find a sword for sale somewhere. You just hope that it's not -3.
Yeah, and if it is, then you hope that incentivized Warple, if you find it, is also not a -3 or 5 or something bad.
So yeah, with the Black Mage starting with fast, you've kind of got a little bit of a safety blanket there too. It's nice to have that just guaranteed. It's also nice that it's just fast and not one of the magics that locks out your level 8 entirely, because you don't know if level 8's going to be necessary.
Yeah, and it's nice that it's something that doesn't need a lot of casts compared to, like Temper. Fast, you only might need a couple, 2 or 3 maybe. And we're off to the races, so let's find out what kind of spells we've got. Let's see, White Mage, we got Harm 3, Heal 3, Harm 2, and Cure 4. So that White Mage has some really nice spells to start with.
Yeah. Harm 3, a very reasonable sweeper to start off with. Fast, Saber, Warp, and Blind. Well, that fast bonus is now looking like bonus level 8 MP. Warp at level 1, very nice. Saber, helpful if that Thief gets promoted. Cloth plus 1. If I remember right, the White Mage had no bracelet as the Malice, right? So that Cloth plus 1 could theoretically be one of your major sources of absorb if it wasn't just plus 1.
Yeah, I mean, with the plus 1, it's 3, but I doubt your White Mage is going to survive anything. I mean, it might, but I don't think you're going to spend the time for that and hope.
Yep. A little bit of gold to start off here.
Helps for when we go to Provoke if there's a chunk of spells there. We start with a Mage Stick. And
Mage Stick, very nice.
Wizard Sticks, so don't know if we'll keep the Wizard Stick. That might just be some walking gold that we'll get in Provoke or whenever we hit a weapon shop.
I think that Wizard Stick is definitely for sale very quickly.
Yeah, this early I would say that. If it was something like you were worried about fighting carry, it's nice to have, because then you got that confusion that you maybe get off on carry and that fight becomes a lot safer. But this early, you're probably not hanging on to it unless you really don't need money.
A slab and ribbon to start out. I mean, I love a ribbon, but not this early.
Yeah, and then the slab too, so nothing out of the first 2 checks, so that immediately makes it to where we've got, Provoca, got a potential item somewhere.
That was a good chunk of change on that Wizard Stick.
Yeah, it was. No item there. We don't have heals in Canaria either, so we're stuck up on heal pots before Topher. We've got to do it somewhere that's not Canaria now.
That can be really funny when you get trolled by that. I've had it happen many times.
I think every FFR runner's had that. It's like, all right, cool, heal pots. Let's go to Canaria before Topher, and that's right, there's no heal pots here. Okay, Provoca, here we come.
Or Crescent Lake. Oh no, Crescent doesn't have them either.
Yeah. So somewhere.
Which terrible item shop do I have to go to now?
All of them.
They're all bad after those two.
They really are. But all right, Deadpulse makes his way to provoke ADRs right behind him. Let's see spells. We got White Magic. We've got Cure Invis, Fear, Cure 3. Cure 3 is nice. We've already got Cure 4. Invis is nice because you do have a way to get some evasion stacks. Black Magic, Lock Fire, Ice Stun. I see Lock, and then I see nothing else. So
Deadpulse famously hates the lock spell. He's done the math. It doesn't pan out well unless you've done like a bunch of them, and so like action economy is part of it. I think just the strength of temper and fast by comparison. We get a ruby out of Bicky. ADR has not checked the magic here yet, but has won the race of the pirates. We do have our heals here.
Yeah, we finally got our heals, but still no actual like critical item that opens anything up. So we're looking at, we've got 3, potentially 4 checks. We've got Marsh, we've got Ice, and we've got Sages, and then maybe an item if the item is sitting in either Crescent Lake or Elfland.
ADR did not check this armor shop, but does not look to be punished by it, as it's just wood and chain, really.
Yeah, I believe, no, it was ADR. I believe ADR might have bought Iron Armor. I thought I saw one of them buy Iron Armor with that extra gold we started with, to give that fighter some like really good armor to start with. And I did not see in Deadpulse's inventory, so I would guess it's ADR, or I just completely saw it wrong.
ADR making the dive up to ice right away. With Warp, I understand. And you've got a Mage Stick for fire damage. You've got Harm 3 to, take care of some stuff here.
Yeah, I think you're not checking chests, you're not checking trap tiles, you're going for the 3 boxes and you're getting the heck out. I don't even think you're stopping to fight anything. Like maybe if you see an undead pack, you throw Harm 3 out and let everybody else run, but I think other than that, you're not touching anything here.
Yeah, I agree. Deadpulse, meanwhile, heading over to the Crescent Lake, is going to check our item shop here and then get the Sage item. Again, no shop item here.
We do have heal potions though, so that's a good one. Copper +5 is really nice for the Black Mage to have something to start with, but unfortunately that White Mage can't. And there's that Cat Claw.
Ooh, that's a good Cat Claw too.
Yeah, it is.
All right, level 6 Exit and Wall, both very good spells. A-Rub, not terrible. Nice to have sometimes, but we already have a ribbon. I'm not really worried about that.
It's A-Rub's situational, but the resistances it gives you if you take a wipe in Topher because of like a status, especially if it's later, you can use that to mitigate, something crazy like stone poison, things like that might just crush your party.
Well, we get our ship. And a bottle out of ice. Okay, so temporary Womping. Opal Shield and a soft. Okay, whatever. We are going down into the wizard tile, but we got the first strike.
This actually surprises me a little bit.
This is... Oh no, that's a thunder. Did the fighter have the ribbon on? Must have.
Yes.
Get a black shirt. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you do that.
Yeah. All right. We got Brack, we got Quad X, we got Lock 2, and I got Ice 2. Brack and Quad X, both very reasonable, but this is looking sparse when it comes to spells that we want. Fade and Harm 4, same level at level 3, but also get Life. Life is night learnable.
I was going to say, I think that's the more important part, is the fact that Life being night learnable, Cure 4 is also night learnable. That knight is going to be very survivable. You just have to have him survive a fight in Topher, and you'll be able to pick everybody else back up using the White Mage.
ADR checking even more boxes, which this surprises me. I would have been running for my life, and my heart. My heart.
The fighter is just like, no, I will not wipe. I am the little fighter that could, and he got away from everything, and ADR makes it out of Ice Cave with the bottle, so we're gonna need to find that floater to see if it was necessary.
So signs point to it being necessary because of the ribbon in Canaria Castle. Getting that from Sarah. You're much more likely to have a required item hiding out there. Now, we don't know exactly what orbs we require yet, so you know, I could be full of it if we don't have to do Sky.
Yeah, and this is what the one other thing trying to get back. Now, I don't know how many save items ADR has to like encounter manip. He's got to be able to run from these fights now that he's out, though, because he's got to make it to Crescent, pick his party back up. But process of elimination, we're about to see item in Marsh. It's either going to be the canal or something leading to the canal.
Yeah, there was a pro ring flat.
Yeah, it was. That's nice to equip, get some armor, and ADR's a good chunk of the way towards Crescent. Yep. Okay, it does have some save items. It's like, all right, I need to make it. I need to get my party back.
The pro ring rolling flat is actually kind of a nuisance because if it had rolled plus, at least the white mage would have some decent absorb from it. Not being able to wear bracelets and the cloth rolling poorly, it tells me that, you know, the pro ring was my hope. I'm not counting on a white shirt.
Now you hope you find a white shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadpulse loses the black mage, so it's not going to be able to warp out of here.
That is not as big of a problem because I think the white mage got the life spell.
Nope.
Yep.
No.
All right.
Did not have the money. Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did.
So I could pick up. Never mind. I thought exit. Never mind.
Exit being level 6 was, I don't even know if it was learnable without promotion. I'm going to double check the slot on that. Marsh was the canal, so that's our exit.
Yep. So Ruby, we've got Ruby checks, Ordeals, Bahamut, Waterfall. Still looking for an item as well. That could be an on-racker on the caravan.
Davian Hawk calling out that ADR did not check the Crescent weapon shop and therefore has not yet seen that cat claw.
Might not be relying on the fact that the cat claw is that's your endgame weapon. Hey, there's a sweeper.
Hey, level 4. Finally.
I mean, if you're going to see it anywhere, that's the last spell slot you really want to see it. Past that, it starts to feel kind of bad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it still feels bad at 4, but at least it's like, it's still first screen. You remember it exists. Visiting the Entroper grave. Very nice.
I respect it. Alright, we're going to get slab translation. We'll see if Deadpulse decides to check some magic shops. Probably not, because you really don't have the money.
No, we're gonna just use the inn, and then we're gonna go head over to Titan and Sarda. Makes sense. We've got the ruby, and we can get the incentive items here, and figure out what our next move is.
Yeah, and as far as kind of, if we're talking about spells, we'll check these quick. You know, the big things we're kind of missing is potentially Invis 2, Ruse. Temper is still out somewhere in the wild as well, so...
Temper being outstanding is kind of scary. And the only thing that I'll say is a potential bonus on that front. Oh, there's our loot. That's very nice to have. If Temper ends up rolling level 8, at least you've got 2 charges guaranteed on the Black Mage. It's just not so great otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like if it lands 7, then you kind of got to level that Black Mage up. Nice thing is with the Thief being able to learn, well, the Ninja, when it promotes, being able to learn Saber, that might have to be your go-to when it comes to it. If you don't find a Power Bonk or Temper does roll high and you don't want to level that Black Mage up too much.
Yeah. Alright, ADR is pretty close to wrapping up Marsh here. Deadpulse has finished up Sarda and the Titan's Trove, got the crystal and the loot from the both of those. I think you're gonna... Yeah, turn in the crystal here. You could theoretically just reset if it ends up being something you don't want right now. And then you're back at the Melman dock. You could head down to Ordeals. Do the Bahamut check. It's all good.
Now, interesting, ADR took that fight against the Mongols. He didn't see the skill that Deadpulse did, so I had no idea how dangerous those were. Deadpulse only had one of them, and ADR had 3 of them. So hopefully ADR can get out of here and actually keep that experience, because that was a nice chunk. And we get the crown up from the crystal.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it because it's like on the way back out, so you may as well. If it had been the Vorpal, I would have immediately reset and just left it for later.
Come back if you even need it.
Yeah. Or like if it was the cube or something like that. Like, you know, it's half an answer, therefore it's not actually an answer. And there's the Vorpal, -3.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see if that gets used. Maybe. I doubt it. We'll see what we find though, because
I unfortunately doubt that we'll even see our runners throw it out the sky window, where it belongs. This seed.
I'm under the idea that a Vorpal is still a Vorpal. It still has a decent crit. Just give it some more tempers, and it's okay.
We have a Cat Claw +3 and an improved Cat Claw.
I still like the Vorpal.
It's fine to like the Vorpal sometimes, I guess.
Vorpal has served me very well in the past, so
that's fair. I'm just saying that for this particular seed, we've got a Cat Claw with better crit and better attack and better hit, and a fighter who likes it.
Alright, I am not surprised to see this whatsoever. Deadpulse immediately going, hey, Ordeals. Deadpulse loves his early Ordeals.
Well, I mean, logically, too, our options at this point are walk all the way down to Bahamut to check that incentive and then warp back out, which is kind of gross, and we don't have a tail yet. Or we do Ordeals, or we check on-rack shop, desert vendor, waterfall. But do you really want to double dip on-rack? So I think Ordeals is the natural play, and then you follow that up with Bahamut because you're right there.
Yeah, but I mean, even if that wasn't the case, if Deadpulse had multiple options, he'd still make this play.
I have been absolutely shocked at the number of times he hasn't, though. So I'm going to toss that out there, too. Like, he has a remarkable number of times not come directly here. Like, even when it was, like, I felt a little bit more natural, I think he's trying to throw off his opponents a bit. Through the Pillar Maze, Deadpulse getting to the first spike tile. It's a slime tile. We have a mage stick. Man, I feel like you take this a couple times, give it a couple spins on the old record player.
Yeah, at least burn through charges, because, I mean, Fade's taking them out, so, yeah, I would burn through some charges, get some levels.
Yeah, and
attacks of 6 like this, it's like, yeah, this is what I want to see. They do kind of hit hard, though.
I mean, it's okay. We're, like you said, we're really just trying to get through charges. We know that there's not much left of this dungeon. Up to level 12 at the 16-minute mark is real good. Just gonna take it twice and head on. I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's that idea that you're, especially knowing what's available at even just white magic for the night, you don't want to level up too much, because once you hit that, you know, where we are right now, you're thinking about, I don't want to hit 15 before I find the tail, if at all possible, because that just means I have to level up the fighter that much more to get all 4 charges, which with Cure 4 and Life available, you want all of those. But we've got Floater out of Castle Ordeals, so that opens up everything.
Yep. Much. Now, worth noting is ADR has not chased down the Crystal to Crown to Vorpal and has come straight here. So in that regard, I think ADR is a little bit ahead, except, you know, for the whole canoeing to and from ice. I think that this is solid play either way, and they're both going to be in the air pretty much on top of each other here, so that's good.
The important thing to note, though, is because of that ice play, ADR has the bottle, which I would not be surprised after getting airship immediately beelining it there to find out what that bottle turned into. Was the ice play worth it? Because you know at this point you're not finding the ribbon, you're not finding. Well, he doesn't know about the Vorpal, but we know he's not finding the Vorpal there. He's gonna find some kind of item that at this point is more than likely required.
Deadpulse heading over to Cardia Forest to check the incentive item this way. The linked boxes in Bahamut's Trove do show up here. Getting the TNT, so indeterminate value. And also heading over to check the Desert Caravan. Let's see what Underhill has for us today. It is not an incentive item.
It's in Gaia or Onrak now, so looks like we're gonna check Onrak first. Or Waterfall.
And we check the item shop here, we see if it's here. It is not, which means probably Gaia. I think it has to be Gaia at this point.
Yeah, process of elimination has to be Gaia now.
Alright, ADR is done with the slimes, which totally makes sense. Now has the money for all that magic he had to skip at level 4. Ice 2 from the Man-Cats, though, that is rough. As we're going to get down to just the fighter again.
Oh, that fighter. Fighter's like, uh-oh. Alright, fighter's like, alright, I'm leaving. Y'all need to stop making me do this. I'm not supposed to be the person that runs. He's in slot 1.
That ice -1 armor is not bad. Probably worth the swap just so you have the fire resist off of it. We're gonna get rid of the Frost Wolves, maybe? As they have starting skill Blizzard. Oh, good.
Yeah, and they have that one Frost Wolf got hit for 160 and was still surviving too.
Oh, we might have just lost our dive here.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
The turn order.
Unfortunately, that got 15 on the fighter, so it's going to have to get a couple more levels if you want all the charges now. But I don't think you're going to complain knowing, hey, I made it out. It's okay.
I survived again. There's the tail coming out of the waterfall. So that's going to send Deadpulse to go promote. I honestly don't know when ADR is going to get there. So I get this weird feeling that he's going to get like key and something useful out of the Lefane and Gaia checks, plus a shop item on top.
I mean, he might see Oxiel and be like, oh, okay.
If it's Oxiel, it's absolutely going to be a play towards Waterfall shortly thereafter.
I am kind of surprised to not see with the float. Well, I mean, ADR just got the floater, but not see Deadpulse check. All right, I have an airship. Let me go check quick to find out what orbs I need to light. So I know what items I need for go mode at this point.
Yep. And there is the key for sale for all of ADR's money. Oh, God.
So about those spells he was going to buy.
Yeah, right. And there's a cube from the bottle. Okay. So the key tells me it's time to go to Topher. We need to figure out what's there. That's also Canaria Locked is nearby too, but, you know.
Yeah.
Plus probably res the party members. We're going to get that crystal into Crown Turn in as well. Which, I mean, he's not really going to care about that too much, except for not having checked the shop for the Cat Claw. Deadpulse also getting that key. Did not have the bottle to turn in the cube, though.
No, right now, if you're an ADR fan, you are hoping that when somebody goes to check that black orb, you see air, because that means Deadpulse. Granted, Deadpulse's dive inside of ice will probably be quick. I'm grabbing the incentive, I'll check the 2 boxes next to it, and I'm getting out. But he's got to go into ice at that point.
Yep. There's a Hooray, and leaving the poor Hooray Dwarf alive in his one-word hell. A Light Axe, which is a decent thing to have for the White Mage. And get the herb from Narek. There is the Chime. We have full sky access now on ADR's side.
Ice +2 sword. We had a Bane sword. Nice chunk of equipment out of the Dwarven Armory. And I think ADR is going to be ADR is going to be checking it. So, what orbs do we need? Wind, earth, and fire. So,
That's actually tremendous news right there. Water tile, interesting.
that's a pretty good tile. If you need some levels, depending, hopefully they didn't roll any kind of script. But got a black shirt, got ice 2, fades, harm 3s. Good chunk of experience. I'm kind of surprised he's taking it, knowing what his levels are, but flame +4 armor.
Spade Drake asking, isn't Wind Sky Palace? Yes, it is. The Wind Orb is required. And that is in Sky. So we do not have to see Fish Monster 1.
We do not. That might be a bad thing for ADR because there's nothing taking him to Onrak where the tail is. So if he's relying on that or trying to find the tail, waters have stone poison.
That's good to know. Hey, it's a white shirt and a pro ring.
Nice. There's your armor for the white mage when you promote.
Yep. He's going to double check just to make sure he didn't see that wrong. He's going to be very happy that he has ice already taken care of.
Yeah, ADR is Rod from Go because he already has his key. He bought the key. Yeah, because he checked. So yeah, he is Rod from Go at this point.
That's kind of a scary place to be. I did not see what the herb turned into when Deadpulse was there. So it's worth thinking about, but at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tracker and I don't notice anything different. So, because the TNT was off of Bahamut,
yes.
Party Island. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Scary fur wolves. Ah.
So Danny in chat is saying TNT to herb to rod. So Bahamut's required then.
I don't hate it except for the part where ADR hasn't done it. Hasn't done waterfall to be able to equip things and all of that. At the same time, I have to say I feel pretty good about the overall position that he's in with having most of Go mode there.
I just thought about this though. The fact that we don't need to do Kraken 1. So there's actually no reason for ADR not to potentially go check Waterfall for something because you're not double dipping it. You're checking Waterfall, you're leaving. You don't have to come back for anything at that point.
Mm-hmm. So, but at the same time, it sort of disincentivizes Onrak in the sense that, you don't really want to go there if you don't have to. So that's a thing, too.
True. Danny also bringing up, if ADR saw the catcall, he wouldn't need to do Waterfall for the tail. That's true with a no promo play. The Knight can learn Cure 4 and Life, though. So,
yeah.
Granted, you might be thinking as ADR, I'm playing Deadpulse, I have to go full risk. I've got everything for Go mode, I'm getting levels, and I got to make this work with what I have. But ADR is making the play to Waterfall. So, we're going to see Tail. I imagine from Tail, immediately promote, get Rod, Go mode, and then, yeah, it's time to burn at that point.
All right, Deadpulse has gotten an Adamant from the Fane and is getting spells, which, as far as a Knight lineup, the only thing you're really missing is Ruse at level 2 so that you don't have to, you don't have to find a Ruse stick or a defense sword, you don't have to use Invis repeatedly, that fighter can be super thick just off of what spells it has, between having the Life, the Cure 4. Fade actually not bad to have as you're going through the early parts of the seed. And honestly, the Ninja getting Fast Saber and Warp all at level 1, very nice.
Also, he's going to be able to nuke, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which really helps, if you do... Deadpulse hasn't seen the Stone Poison yet, but if you want, it's hey, those waters are good for a party grind. I've got a Fade caster and 2 nuke casters. Okay, This works.
Oh, that's right.
Not much surviving Fate in 2 nukes.
Was Fate in a night learnable slot at level 3?
No, it was slot
Okay.
4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, we'll scratch that from the calculus, but that was very nice.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Fate was white locked. I don't think Red Mage, Red Wizard, or Knight could learn it.
All right, ADR about to get that tail, which is great news.
He's like, ooh, cool, I can go promote now.
I feel like Deadpulse is about to get an Oxyale and be very disappointed.
Probably. Yeah.
Hey!
You are correct.
I can do math. Okay.
Which, at that point, I think Deadpulse has got to be... I think that's the only incentive he hasn't checked then. So he's got to know that Ice more than likely has Bottle, which leads to Cube. So he's effectively in go mode himself now.
Yep.
Whereas, he's got to check it at least where his ADR is going to get his TNT here. And if he makes a beeline right after promotion and everything, he'll be first one to actual go mode.
Yeah, and I think it's worth stressing just how close these runners are to each other at this point. There is not a clear winner in terms of who's ahead. Because that ice dive is going to be super quick for Deadpulse. Not going to have to do the canoeing about. They're neck and neck. So, as sort of expected for this first game of the finals.
Yeah, I mean, if Deadpulse is almost halfway through Earth, but he's got to do Ice, then he's got to airship all the way up to Gaia, turn it in. Ooh, hey, look, we have some eyes.
That eye is a super nice find. I don't know that it's worth taking, though, given that we have 2 potential nuke casters. Dragon Sword +5 is not bad. Okay.
I would say no, but if you want to just take something to the moon, it's like, hey, this eye is up on floor 1. Go find somewhere to kill your party off, come take this eye, get your levels, go res, and then go run into Topher.
I can see the logic of getting a couple levels here just to get the initial spell charges for the Ninja and the Knight. Just get to 17 maybe, and then use the Hall of Giants to potentially kill off the rest of the party. Because the eye isn't going to do it unless it has a script. And then you're like, well, do I risk a script? And so far it just seems really badly punchy.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even pay attention to it. Did Deadpulse see Temper when he... I guess we'll probably see it on ADR side. But if Temper's not here, that means it's level 7.
Or level 8 Gaia.
Or that. Yep, there's Adamant. Alright, let's see what kind of black magic we have when we get to it.
Such a shame seeing heal 3 in the second slot where the Knight can't pick it up. Desperately wishing that we could put spells above level 3 on the Knight as we select the Knight every time. I don't know how excited I am to pick up Exit at this stage of the seed.
I mean, it helps depending on what you're doing, but yeah, like, most of your exits are done. You can just use Warp, which is at level 1, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. We are finally getting the nuke. Deadpulse on his way down, has finished with the eye for now. Is going to check the Earth Armory here, which does have one better trap chest that I can think of.
Yes.
So indeterminate worth.
Is the top box. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah, not what you're looking for. Like, I mean, I guess Deadpulse is just trying to, like, maybe find that defense sword, maybe another ribbon to make things even safer. But
Ooh, spicy. ADR heading straight in to Sky. So
I like this because you kind of take a walking grind. As
Yep.
you're level 17, you still need some levels. Most of the encounters here are worth speaking of. Like, this one's a decent chunk, but he's going to run from it. But yeah, really, really good experience here, and you get an orb taken care of at the same time.
Yeah, and this is really just natural routing coming from Lefane. Deadpulse, I think, is going to have a very natural route as well, given that he's going to go probably Volcano to Ice to Gaia, and from Gaia being able to go straight into Sky, and then Sky down to Topher. Like, that's really good routing. We see a white mage behind Lich.
Yeah, we're not grabbing that. Nope.
Dark Moon asking required dungeons. It is Earth, Wind, and Fire tonight. So, enjoy those fantastic tunes.
Yeah, Deadpulse with the first Orblade in Earth, and he is on his way to, looks like Ice is going to be first. Yep, Ice is first.
Okay.
This is going to be quick.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe check the better trap behind that Blue Dragon, but that's probably about it.
2 pro capes up in CC's Gambit.
And
Feels bad.
And they both rolled -2.
I mean, at least it's a little bit more absorbed for the white mage and the black mage, but yeah, pretty terrible.
Yeah, mana cores. Yeah, mana cores are decent.
Oh, we take those.
Yeah,
I mean, they died to a fade. That's all that really matters, right?
Sure. I'll take that XP.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we're getting the calls for it in chat. They want to see the robot chicken.
I want to see a robot chicken. Give me some robot chicken.
Yeah,
Downside, we don't have a good weapon for that.
I was gonna be
right
like,
now.
and I don't think we have temper, so it's just like, I think if you see it, you've got to run. Like, you don't have.
It's a war mech.
Speaking of it, there we go. Looks like we're gonna try.
This seems very dangerous. I guess ADR got the light axe on the knight. Okay, that light axe not going to do terribly much.
Same as that Vorpal. I think it's. Yeah, I think it's time to leave. Like, I get it, you're gambling. Like, this is your levels. Like, if you can kill this.
Oh, that's a nuclear.
Well, about that, I think it's hey, 6 for 6.
Yeah, it's time to go.
I mean, at this point, you just swing. Like, you could try to go for Tia, but you might as well find out what happens.
You've got life.
Oh yeah, you got life. Oh, he's got that one charge. That's right.
The one charge is enough.
It is enough. So yeah, he did. The fighter's like, all right, we're back to this, but I can bring my party up now. Let's do that. Yeah, I don't blame him for swapping. There's a Ruse stick. I saw Katana as well. I don't see Deadpulse checking any. Oh, he didn't raise his party. Maybe he didn't have charges.
Oh, I could have sworn he had one charge.
I thought he did too, but. And Tiamat has a skill that's, I guess, I mean, we'll see, because if he does have that one charge, then he's got at least one Cure 4. Actually, he can't cast it though, he's muted. So it doesn't matter.
Yep, can't Cure 4, can't heal pot. Damage poison comes out for a little bit of chip damage because we have that ribbon on the fighter. This is a very sketchy Tia fight.
It is. I mean, he's getting the crits, and it's like, it's chip damage, but eventually it adds up. I mean, there was 3 for 130, so like, if Tia keeps swinging, Tia can't do damage with swing.
That's a Dragon +5 in the free chest in Volcano.
I think that's the second one. We saw that somewhere else, I thought, too.
No, there's only one dragon armor. We have a dragon sword.
Oh, a
plus
dragon
5
sword.
as well.
I thought you said dragon sword.
Dragon sword was in Earth, behind the eye, or something.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, the dragon armor, very free.
That sword would be really nice to have here.
Right? Or the cat claw that ADR hasn't seen yet.
Or that, you know. All right. Knight down to a knee. Like, Tia can't have much left. I've been seeing a lot of triple-digit hits recently.
This is... Honestly, it's almost painful for me to watch. Like, it's so scary.
There we go.
Okay.
For 69.
Nice!
Down goes Tia 1.
Was that a black belt behind Carrie?
That is a black belt behind Carrie.
Deadpulse is probably not taking that, but it's interesting to see nonetheless.
It really is.
This has been an absolutely heroic night, by the way. And if ADR doesn't res the party right now and goes to Earth, he's gonna res.
All I'm gonna say is this: I don't care who wins this race. The real winner is ADR's Knight. Period.
Right?
Like MVP ADR's Knight.
Hey, there's that temper at level 8.
You get those extra charges, thankfully, but that's still that is not where you want to see temper. Deadpulse getting that cube finally is in go mode. Only has to clear out air and then can go into Topher and we'll see if it makes the plays. I don't know what Deadpulse's levels are right now. Low 20s, so maybe.
So here's, I think, the important thing to keep in mind. Not only does Deadpulse have a couple levels on what ADR has and a couple of charges for promoting a level or two earlier, but also has a Cat Claw +3, a Dragon Armor +5. You know, like, there's so many resources that Deadpulse has right now for this skydive that ADR just didn't have.
Yeah, some of the resources were in Volcano, so ADR is going to find them. The issue is, Deadpulse is going to be taking, he's fighting this blue dragon, so he's going to try to get some more levels while he's in here.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely more set up if, say, he also runs into Robot Chicken. And does he want to take Robot Chicken then?
Well, that is a Katana -2 in that box as well.
Yeah, not great, but Katana is Katana.
It's better than that Vorpal. Making the logical choice to switch over from Vorpal to Sun +1. I'm a big fan of that.
See, I don't know if I would do that because I don't know if that Sun Sword gets him through Tia. The Vorpal, I don't think it will. The Sun Sword's not going to crit. If he wasn't critting, he wasn't doing damage.
That's fair.
Now, if it would have been a dragon, he absolutely, because that dragon +5 would have done some severe damage to Tia.
Deadpulse about to get the double Womp Pro Cape checks, which he's not even going to take them because he doesn't have inventory for them.
Which, thinking about it, if they both went in on a hard reset, he's pretty much taking the exact same line that ADR did. So if it was both up hard reset, he is going to see Robot Chicken.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out.
He's got a ninja with the katana and sabers. He has the capability to kill it. Potentially, the big concern is that nuclear.
Yep. The nuclear is a big deal.
Even the cat claw, like he has the way to put damage out. That was the big thing with ADR is his melees couldn't put any damage out without buffs. Ooh, there's a defense +4.
That's a really solid sword as well.
It really is, and the great part about it is you can switch that ruse stick up to the ninja. You've got 2 ways to keep your evade tank up and get the knight some evasion. That's not bad, because that ninja with saber and everything, that might be able to get you through a boss or 2 and keep the knight up himself. And the knight's got Cure 4, so the knight could even keep the ninja alive.
Yep.
through something. Like if you go down to a 2-man on like Chaos, you're like, all right, well, my carry's the ninja, my knight's going to be my healer now.
ADR just getting the business from all of these encounters on the way down, but is, you know, it's almost a little sad to see that the Tia fight is just going to be so much faster on Deadpulse's side, and I don't know how ADR makes up that time, you know?
Honestly, probably the best way would be there is something bad in Topher that Deadpulse kind of beats his head against once, and he wipes, and maybe ADR does a little bit of prep and gets in, because he is also skipping the black belt. So this is not a, all right, I got a black belt. Topher is a guarantee, I just need the levels. That is not. So ADR clears
Just got to do that.
He needs to go get his rod, which he's about to do right now.
Yep. And Deadpulse is, it's time to stock up. He's going to find out, oh yeah, there's no heal potions here.
Like, he might not even be doing that. I think he's just out of houses. I don't really.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah. Okay.
Because they really, with heal 3 being where it is, there has not been a lot of actual heal pot usage. Like, buy all my heal pots, then use heal 3s and cure 3s to heal my party when I need to, and not have to come back and buy them. Because yeah, whatever he's got is what he's got. He's running in with it. So we got 4409 is our first entry into Topher on Deadpulse's side.
So far, nothing too scary about the Topher yet, but we haven't gotten any of the bosses yet. A solitary mage.
Also, Deadpulse doesn't know this is good for him, though. That War Mech had at least one of the nuclears that's in the pool, so we can't see that at any of the Fiends or Chaos.
That's right. Alright, ADR is in go mode now, having completed the full clear simulator that is the seed, about to head into Earth, so a full dungeon behind, and one of the longest by step counts.
Yeah, and Earth feels bad to walk through. It just, you like running it when you're high, because then most things just run from you. It's like, yeah, I'll get encounters, but I'm going to run from it, or it's going to run from me. And
yeah. Alright, Deadpulse onto the Earth floor, running from so many Gurmedusas. And honestly, Deadpulse's levels look good here. Like,
they do. He picked up a couple more levels while he was in Sky, so unless there's something like evasive, because he doesn't like locks, but if he's not getting the damage out, because again, Temper's 8, I think he's only got the 2 charges of Tempered. We don't have a power bond, or I didn't see a power bond, so
yeah. And ADR finds the eye.
Deadpulse is through Lich 2, or onto the fire floor, and after some encounters, we'll see Carry.
ADR is going to take the eye for at least a couple encounters, it seems. I don't hate it, but at 46 minutes in the finals of the Winter Tournament,
yeah, I feel like
against Deadpulse specifically,
I feel like it's you get to the finals, it's up against anybody at this point. You're just like, if you're making the decision to grind, then you're making that decision like, I need something bad to happen in Topher, because if there's nothing bad in Topher, I'm going to see the dot done maybe even before I get into Topher.
Yeah. And I mean, that's been one of the calculated risks that runners have had to take in the entire tournament, is just how bad will the Topher be? How low can I go? How high do I need to go to ensure that I can finish? Like, it's been a very tough calculus.
Yeah, I mean, Carry, nothing bad. But typically Lich and Carry usually aren't too bad. We're about to hit the first one that usually becomes the first wall, and that is Kraken 2.
The seafood doing seafood things here, but Deadpulse getting through just fine.
Healing up, and let's see, no party swapping. Let's see what we do. Attack, fade fast.
Look like a quad X coming out of Kraken.
Yeah, 4 for 92 with a crit. 6 for 6.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna go nuke and fade stress with just some attacks and hope 8 for 217. That Kraken rolled stupid low on health.
Yeah, that is the best case scenario for Deadpulse there.
Yeah, it really is. Wow. So I think what, like 2 fades and a nuke, and that was pretty much it.
Pretty much, yeah. ADR, meanwhile, has hit the Lich floor of Earth, so basically a full Topher behind.
Yeah. Tia starts with damage poison. 3 for 130 with 2 crits. We got fast coming out. We had Saber from the ninja. We go fight. I did not see.
There's a heal 3 out of the White Mage.
Heal 3. It wasn't too bad. I mean, Tia did crit and hit for 200 plus, but you're not too worried about that. ADR finishes Earth. Gotta imagine it's immediately to Topher.
Yep.
Damage is coming on Tia 2, but Tia 2 is not thin like Kraken is.
Oh, there goes Tia 2.
So Chaos is all that's left. And we have full party up. Well, let's see what Deadpulse decides to do and see what Chaos has, because we really haven't seen anything too bad. We've only seen the Nuclear Lauder War Mech. Haven't seen any other non-elementals. Alright, so fast.
Fast, Invis, Ruse, and Temper, all going onto that night.
Which, I mean, I can't blame him. You got Cure 4, like, there's not a lot probably stopping that night right now that you got here. You got both Tempers out, because Ink, so there's a free turn.
Yep. And that ninja is just going to nuke from here on out. I am 100% on board with that. 7 hits, 231 so far out of the fighter. Not great, but there's a temper afterwards that helps.
Yep, now it's just going to be nuke fades and attacks. And we've got 161, second nuke hit, 137. Chaos swings, misses the knight. 5 for 696, 5 hits, 5 crits.
That's some good results there. The best we can hope for, really.
Yeah, Chaos isn't going to last too much longer with rolls like that. It's like I saw like a touch or something. I was like, oh, what was that? And it's like, oh, it's just dark touch. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. There's 5 hits, 599. Down goes Chaos. Deadpulse takes game 1 of the final.
Official racetime.gg time of 50 minutes 24 seconds. Timer a little bit desynced here, but what a solid race that we saw here. ADR just on the carry 2 floor at the time, but not far behind, really. That's the competitiveness that I was expecting out of this series so far.
Yeah, still, in Topher, but definitely close. We'll see how Fire 3 from carry. We didn't see that. Down goes the Black Mage. Another swing for the Knight. 5 for 191. Down goes carry 2.
We're seeing if Deadpulse will come join us in the booth here.
ADR just keeping that Black Mage eating the ground for right now while walking through Kraken floor.
One thing I will toss out here, it's kind of interesting. ADR needs a little bit earlier in the evening for the races because, young child usually goes to bed pretty early. Deadpulse got home from work about 20-30 minutes before the race, logged in immediately, so a little bit of time pressure on both of these runners, and Deadpulse might have stepped away, just get a little something to munch on, get ready, perhaps a celebratory cherry Pepsi. And there he is, Deadpulse. GG.
Oh, thank you. Hello, friends.
So how do you feel about this first race?
Well, I'm feeling good. My beginning game was not that great, but I kind of kicked it up into high gear on the second half, and I was feeling really good going into Topher.
ADR given a victory lap for the people here as he heads to the Masa box. So, from the standpoint of routing, everything seemed like it just flowed naturally for you. How did you feel finding out that ice was required?
That's always the worst feeling. I'm just sitting there like, oh, please don't be floater, please don't be key.
All right, ADR gets the Flame Sword +3 out of the Masa box and is going to use it, gearing up in Topher. What is this? So early seed, I think the one piece of divergence that we were really paying attention to was ADR went to ice immediately after Provoca and had a heroic run with his knight. You went straight to Crescent and faded the ice, which I totally understand. Everything after that just seemed to just go. Was there any point in the seed that you were particularly concerned?
No, as soon as I went to Ordeals, I got lost a little in the maze, and then I just kind of buckled down, and everything after that felt really good, so.
Rock on. So this week, you got all of your matches at the same bat time. Slightly different bat channel, as we're going to be headed over to RPG Limit Break for the rest of the series. But how are you feeling about the rest of the series? And I know that, you know, there's a little bit of scheduling stuff that you worked through with ADR on that to make sure that you could get these races done in a timely fashion. Are you feeling good about where things are headed?
Yeah, I wanted to come out swinging race 1, and I feel like I did that. And honestly, like, you know, I want my perfect bracket record, so I'm going to do my best to go 3-0.
Heck yeah. ADR giving us a full victory lap. We're even getting the outside loop. Oh, geez. Yeah, and with a perfect bracket, that it seems like you're trying to make up for that one loss in pods. You've been very angry this entire tournament from what I've seen.
That's what switched me over. I lost my first round, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done losing. This is over with.
Link, do you have questions for Deadpulse?
No, you kind of hit all the things I was gonna talk about. So,
how about this white magic, by the way?
Oh my goodness, I was debating on the correct party to choose. I almost thought about going Thief Rainbow, just because if Nuke rolled low, that's going to be the better option. Because, you know, the Cat Claw I'm still on the fence about, even though it kind of carried me through this seed. But I'm really happy with the white magic, especially with that party. Like, this was the correct party to take.
100%. And I don't know if you're watching the stream, but ADR took the exact same party. I think it was definitely what I was expecting to see. We talked before the race in the commentary booth about potentially spicy other options, but I pretty much knew what was going to happen on your end, at least.
I did a practice seed earlier this morning, and I wiped in Topher really hard because I didn't have a life caster.
Oof. Tuumbo asking, when's Game 2? Game 2 is tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, going to be on RPG Limit Break. That is also the same time and channel for Games 3 and 4 and 5. We'll see how many of those we need in this Best of 5 series, but each night this week, 7:30. ADR going for Bane Sword strats.
hey, it always feels good when you get the cheeky Bane kill in Chaos.
I cannot deny that. it's particularly funny just knowing that it's always 3 and 256. You can't cheese it with the expert to get higher odds like you can with Brack. There's a little bit of swag to it that you just can't match. I mean, Zap or Fear also, high tier answers, but Banesword does work.
I like the Cure 3 on the Black Mage, just like, no, not my Banesword caster. Can't do it. Uh-oh, you got nuclear coming on.
Oh.
No more Banesword for you.
It's okay, though. The Thief seems to be swinging pretty all right.
Yeah, 7 then. There.
And there it is.
So, yeah, we got 58:05 is the official time on race time. GG for ADR.
And there is ADR joining us in the booth. GG.
Thank you.
Appreciated the swag of the Masa check and the tremendous victory lap at the end there.
Oh, sure. I've been waiting all tournament to get a loss right around Kraken 2, so I have an excuse to go check that chest. And Deadpulse finally gave it to me, so thank you, sir.
Happy to be of service.
So ADR, game 1 in the books. How'd you feel about the seed?
Actually, I thought it was going pretty well. That ice play almost killed me. I had more trouble in the river system with that fighter who refused to run, but it almost paid off, and then I'm feeling pretty good about it. The rest of the seeds seemed to go reasonably straightforward. I did pick up, I wanted a level and a half on that eye on Earth, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm probably wasting a minute while he's in Topher right now, but yeah, I wanted one more hit on that defense sword. But other than that, the seed went reasonably well, and I couldn't complain too much, except for really my encounter manip was not really on point. But still, it really wasn't a bad performance.
Yeah, I was saying the whole time, I thought you guys were both, more or less equal up right up until the end. I think one thing that might have hurt you a little bit is the Cat Claw was pretty cheap in Crescent Lake, and Deadpulse picked that up right away, whereas you kind of didn't have much of a sword until you put on the Vorpal.
Yeah, the weapons did not impress me last seed, and one of the things that I decided to do is skip the weapon shops, because more likely than not, you're going to pick up something better in a chest at some point anyway. And this seed was just saying, no, you maybe you should check those weapon shops. But, it did deliver at the end in that Masa chest. That's where all the good weapons are hiding out.
The Cat Claw was +3 this seed, so it was a very reasonable little knife.
Nice.
From the standpoint of routing, it seemed like everything flowed well for you. It looked like you were putting on a good pace. That night was just absolutely heroic in several of the dungeons, though. How nervous were you getting out of ice, and the couple other times that night had to pull through on its own?
Yeah, ice that's always a dangerous play doing at that low level. But I'm thinking, I've got a mage check, I've got warp, like this is doable. And then I think there's thunder out of one of the dragons. I'm like, oh no, at least I had the ribbon. But yeah, that really threw off my plan. And it's one of those where you have to step on it twice. Like, oh, well, how much luck do I have today? And then that sty, taking the war mech was probably a mistake. But I just can't resist. When a robot chicken pops up in front of you, you play chicken with him, you go head on. I'm not going to be the one to turn away until he kills off all my dudes with my light ats doing 3 hits, 3 damage. And he sometimes discretion's the better part of valor.
Yeah, and I mean, I was worried about it. I thought you had a life charge on the night at that point, but you went in solo against that Tia and still managed to come out ahead. I was pretty surprised on that one.
The armor was actually pretty decent, and the knight had a good amount of absorb and a good amount of hit points, but yeah, that fight took a lot longer than it should have, and that, I think if that fight went well, I probably would have been closer to tier 2 when Deadpulse finished. Well, that's how it is. Going into Sky a little unprepared is something that it can pay off or it can cost you, and in this case it cost me.
I hear ya. Link, questions for ADR?
I mean, no questions, but I know we've kind of touched on it, but you might have taken the loss today, ADR, but your knight was the MVP of the match, period. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I think we can move on to final thoughts here. Deadpulse, our victor tonight in Game 1. Final thoughts, sir?
Oh, thank you very much for calming Saracen, Sir Link-a-Lot, Dark Moon, and JLo for behind the scenes. I'm still very excited for these finals. ADR, you're going to be a worthy opponent, and we're going to go head to head a couple more times here. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
ADR, final thoughts?
Yeah, ditto on all that. Thanks to all of you, and I'm certainly looking forward to games 2 and 3. I think I have a chance of taking one of them, maybe both. You never know. I've been saying for the last 2 months, this is the week I'm out of this tournament, and I think this week I'm actually out this week, however it goes.
All right. Sir Link-a-Lot, my co-commentator of the evening. Final thoughts, sir?
That was a good, fun race. Nice and close until the end. Really looking forward to games 2 and 3, and hopefully, I mean, I'm speaking for probably Twitch chat and everybody else watching. Maybe not for the runners, but I'm sure they're hoping to see games 4 and 5 as well.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, I do want to put a little shout out not only to our racers tonight, but to our crew. We had Dark Moon handling the restream and JLo7 handling our tracking tonight. Link, thank you for joining me in the booth. ADR, Deadpulse, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the matches at this final. I think you're looking forward to racing them, and I think our audience is looking forward to watching them as well. If you like what you saw, you should come definitely check us out. Head over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can join the Discord from the link at the bottom of the page or from the links that Danny's put up in the chat. If you give yourself a spectator role in the role request channel, there you can get alerts whenever we're going live with one of our big races. That will be in the race announcements channel. And if you're interested in learning how to play the randomizer and see all the fabulous things that you can do with it, we are going to be running our Duckling Bootcamp at the end of the month, starting on March 26th. So that's just under 3 weeks away. That's going to be me and Luffy DV teaching you how to play the randomizer, going over all sorts of different flags, following that up with the Duckling Derby, our race just for newcomers. And we hope to see you there. Hope that you get to join in on all of the fun that comes up here. Again, Game 2 tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on RPG Limit Break. And we'll see who's going to be in the booth for that one as we check out this continuing finals matchup in the Winter Tournament. With that, I have been Saracen. Again, in the booth, we had Sir Link-a-Lot, JLo7 on tracking, Dark Moon on restream, and looking forward to seeing you all for the rest of the week. Have a good night, everybody.